This is my video response to Chimamandu Adichie, her video, TED Talk called The Dangers of a Single Story. I love this video. Ms. Adichie is from Nigeria. She lived in relative wealth for her in her country, I believe, because they had hired help, and she remembers looking down on a houseboy that they had by the name of Fide, and she pitied him because her mother would always say how poor he and his family were. But one day when she went to visit, she found that there was a richness in their life that she would not have imagined. She only saw him through that one single story of the lens of he is poor, so he must be to be pitied, like he has a bad life and he's different. So she said she actually was on the other end of this when she first moved to the United States, and her roommate just was flabbergasted that she was literate, that she spoke English, which was actually her first native language, and that she knew how to do things like that. She wasn't like a savage, or I mean, not to use that word, but people who don't interact with others from foreign countries or have never been to the country, they don't know what to expect, so who knows what they think. And so that's the idea. Like, the single story is you hear something in a history class, or you watch a TV show. It doesn't even have to be recent, and then that's what your picture is of these people until you meet somebody that changes your mind. And Chimamandu said she also experienced this when she went to Mexico, and she was surprised to see that people seemed to be doing things that she was familiar with, like joking around and taking breaks and laughing, and that she felt like she had her own preconceived ideas that had to go out the window. And she says that showing people in one way over and over again is what causes stereotypes, and the danger of having one story about any particular group is there is no one story to any of us. I mean, we know how diverse our culture is, depending on where you live in a state or even in a part of a city. Like South Philly has a different culture, than Central City. And so we're so diverse. Even here, even 10 miles away, you can have like a diverse group or diverse neighborhood, and just nobody is going to think the same way, even in a family. And so we're also individual, but we're also very much the same. We have the same fears and desires. And so the idea of seeing each other as different, she says the African word is nkali, to be greater than another. So you feel like, oh, they're different from me, so they're strange or bad or wrong, or I'm good because what I do is what I was taught, and so I'm right and you're not. And there's a lot of subjective judgment going on there. Who is anybody to judge somebody else, his behavior, thoughts, or actions, if they're based on the way that they were taught? Could go really into this and get into an ethics discussion, but she says that we need to have more of a balance of stories for each of the cultures and dig deep and actually find all the different beautiful various stories that make this a really interesting planet to live on. And one thing I was thinking about, how when you only think of one thing that you've learned as a stereotype. I remember reading about or watching videos about the Holocaust survivors and saying that the Germans were so surprised to see that they didn't actually have horns on their heads, or that they actually could be beautiful, or they could be smart. And the Germans just couldn't believe that. They had one story in their head, and for them to be doing what they were doing and to feel good about it, they had to believe that one story. That's what's so dangerous about the one story. It enables you to not have compassion for your fellow man. And yeah, so this is my comment, and thanks for watching.